Welcome everyone to the April 15th Planning Board meeting. Whoops.
That's right.
We're going to start with our minutes, review our minutes from April 1st. Has everyone had a chance to look at those? Do I have a motion
So moved.
to approve?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, next up, we have a Form A. So can you introduce yourself, please?
Yep.
Okay, and normally our surveyors are in the room, so, we'll have some questions.
That's fine.
Yeah, okay. So what, do you want to tell us a little bit about the plan here?
Yeah, most of it's just a straightforward boundary. There's a small cottage on parcel where it's parcel A down on the southern part, off Williamsville Road, and they're cutting out 11 acres.
Wait, 1 second. Jennifer, can you get another map out so that the other end of the table can follow along a little bit more? 1 second.
Sure.
One, and then react so the others can.
Sorry, I wish I was there, but it's far away for the night.
Where are you based?
Well, the company's in Cummington. I live in Coleraine up near Vermont. Coleraine.
Okay. Okay, so, all right, so I'm sorry, if you can start again and.
Yeah. So the only A&R portion of this is the parcel A down at it's like a little tail at the very south part.
Yeah,
It's 11 acres. There's a little cottage on it, a house that somebody's renting. So they're cutting that piece out, and then the rest of it is this was for Fish and Game, so Fish and Game is going to own it after this.
okay, so that parcel nothing's being conveyed in this plan.
It is. Parcel A will be, and there's a proposed property line between two pins. There's capped rebar sets, kind of at the northeast of that 11-acre lot. Do you see that?
Well, it's a little.
They're hidden by trees, but they're labeled cap rebar set arrows.
Okay.
It's gonna be like in there.
Yeah, we see it.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's 11 acres, with the house on it. As you can see, it's very small because of the scale. So
I see now. Okay, yeah.
The scale is a very, it's like 300 and something, it's a large property. Some of it's in West Stockbridge, but there's no A&R component to West Stockbridge. It's only the A&R component to Stockbridge.
Okay, so that parcel A,
Yep.
its frontage is along Williamsville Road.
Yes.
Okay, and what is the amount of the frontage along?
I can hold on.
I see you got all your lengths on the table there, but maybe you can tell.
Yeah, I can, I have to add it up, but I can kind of quickly, hold on 2 seconds. It's about, oh wait, sorry.
I'm not.
It's the R4.
At one time.
Yeah, so we're looking for 300 feet.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So we have at least that.
Is that right?
It's
Calculate.
523 feet.
How much?
523.
Okay, good. All right, so you've got the frontage.
Yep. And the area is 11 acres. And the house, there's a driveway, there's a house already on there.
Okay.
It's plenty of access, and they're not gonna, it's not enough to subdivide again. The access is, or there's not enough frontage, but so it's just gonna be one house lot, and then the rest of it will be conveyed to Fish and Game.
Right, okay.
This goes through.
And the frontage for that is over on Dugway Road.
Yeah, there's a lot on Dugway.
Yeah, I see there's quite a,
There's actually a few. There's Dugway, there's Mohawk Lake. It goes over to Mohawk Lake Road, which is a lot to,
yeah, okay.
It's a decent amount.
Okay,
I can let you know in a second, but
that's all right.
over 570 feet.
Right, okay. All right. Okay, my questions have been answered. Does anyone have any questions? No, it's very clear. We're good? Okay, all right, so I make a motion that we approve this as an approval not required under subdivision law. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Sorry I couldn't be there in person.
That's okay.
And I guess I'll pick it up, or I mean, what's the best?
Oh, yeah, we have to sign the Mylar. Where is it?
You have to sign off.
Yeah, we
Do we have?
Yeah.
He wants to know when to come in.
Tomorrow.
I mean, whenever I can. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll just come to the town hall, pick it up whenever the town clerk's there, I assume.
Yep.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
You
Yeah.
too.
He's
Wow.
you do all right here. No.
You didn't sign it.
I didn't sign it, no.
No.
But I will.
We're just gonna go sign.
Oh.
I shall when it comes
Just for a
around.
second.
It would be nice if everyone's, I guess it doesn't matter.
Just don't have to sign stuff upon here.
Okay.
Fish and wildlife.
Oh, Fish and Wildlife.
The rest of them, this room. What do you want?
Yeah.
Somebody else.
And then the special. Okay.
Oh,
All right, now the special.
Is this your stuff?
There you go.
Oh, it's mine.
Oh,
When it comes back around.
yeah.
Hey. Yep. You've got, what, two more to do? Or one more to do? One. Do for that.
Those, oh yeah, I already did that.
Here's the line. Did everybody do the line?
Yeah.
This is one. I'm not sure this is dry yet. Okay.
Last one.
That's fine.
Whose property was this?
Fish and Wildlife.
So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was, this was the Harriet Beecher stuff.
Charles Stowe, yeah, it was the Harriet Beecher. Yeah,
Oh, really?
fascinating property, yeah.
Wow.
But it's been preserved. Okay. Mm-hmm. We good?
Yes, we are.
Okay, next up, Carl is doing an update on historic preservation, right?
Oh, just really quickly, I mean, we officially updated the planning board on our activities, but just the last couple of things have been approving some demolition at of outbuildings at Cherry Hill. Now the Morris property from the Stones, they're renovating the barn and we were very unimportant buildings.
So some outbuildings on the old Swan property?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's part of, those
Yeah.
properties are sort of being
renovated,
renovated.
which is right. The big barn is being renovated and I think it was like the goat shed or something is coming down, so. And then, what else do we do? We okayed, some solar panels on the roof of the Congregational Church.
Okay.
So I don't know, I mean, we've okayed other solar panel installations on historic Main Street properties and no one's noticed.
Mhm.
So, that would be more noticeable. And then, we're doing some consultation with the Egremont, Historic Commission, who are, planning to, propose a, historic preservation bylaw very similar to ours for Egremont.
Mhm.
So that's happening at the end of the month. Anyway, that's it.
Whatever happened with St. Paul's and, I know they were removing historic features from the,
I drew the replacement and it hasn't happened yet. So, but it's on the books. So that project, yeah, I don't know. It's just a couple of pilasters.
So is that property, is that used by the minister?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, okay, okay,
I think it will happen. So,
okay, all right. Any questions or,
no, just a little update.
Thank you.
Sure.
okay,
Are there instances where the solar panels become a question on character of the neighborhood type stuff with historic?
Well, I mean, that's what the question is. And I don't know, the Congregational Church is pretty central to the town. I don't know that, I mean, of course, I think these installations are temporary in their nature. So, I don't think it's going to diminish. We decided it wouldn't diminish the historic character of the building. So,
did the previous town hall, that's now the Waldorf School, did that go before historic at all?
oh yeah, we've looked at all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're great. I think they're putting up solar panels too.
Mhm.
So, but, as well as a lot of other things, but, they're doing a marvelous job there. I think it looks really good.
Did you know that the sister building to that building is over in Hadley?
But,
Yeah, if you
Really?
drive over to that Route 9 West, I think it is, to UMass, the town hall there is
the spit of Proctor Hall.
pretty much, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
I'm doing a job in Hadley. I'll take a look.
And I mean, it must have been like a circuit rider, architect.
No, the plans sometimes,
those
like,
for
they
bridges.
get passed from hand to
Yeah.
hand. Here you go.
All right, so I'm going to hand the master planning over to Gary, okay? And I have to recuse myself.
So, I wasn't at the meeting where, Mr.
CJ.
Haas, spoke, but, you guys could, I don't know where we're at with any of that, but,
Well, it was. You weren't here, Gary?
no,
So he came down to explain the whys and what fors of why we may or may not look into an update and had given some examples from other communities that had done it and what they had paid and left it pretty open-ended for us to do or not do
Yeah.
what we chose. And
Well, there's a
then we were all gonna go ahead and further review that document. And I don't know how many did. I tried to get through it.
We got through it.
yeah,
And
we went through it, I think 3 meetings ago. that we did that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's all
It was,
redone.
okay.
But there's a timeline on the grant.
Right, and I think.
Because it would be in the fall, so that actually work on a new plan would not actually begin until next year, 2026. And so, I mean, I have to tell you, that makes me feel ridiculous. It's like, let's just get it done. But, it seems to be a time-consuming project, so.
Didn't Michael say that he was working on a grant for this?
Yes.
There were certain
Yes.
parts of it that we've already done, which was
Right.
nice, because we've done the housing production plan, and he was also finishing up something else that was
And it's
suggested.
advantageous to go with the regional planning in terms of that grant,
Oh,
because they're
absolutely,
tied in with that. I mean, I believe Williamstown did a private planning organization for their recent plan update. And, but I don't think there's any particular reason why, I don't know. I mean, I think it's up to us, basically.
right. Well, I think cost plays a big part in that too. I mean, it's a much cheaper way, it's a cheaper option to do.
Yeah.
Well,
There's like, I don't know, I'm not sure what the grant, how much the grant is for, but
It's for 50,000.
something like that. And then, Mike.
How much did Lee pay for theirs? do you know?
They paid around 70. And he's.
So, I mean, it's a doable situation.
Yeah, very.
Mike
And
Canal
plus
says
we
we have
have,
$20,000 already.
right, we have
in
20,
hand.
right. So we have it covered.
In Williamstown, when they did theirs privately, that was like 170, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 180, I think.
Yeah.
All those Williamstown people.
So, you know me, I always go to what is it specifically about our plan that we feel like we need to change?
Well, I think that, well, we need to update the numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're all out of date. So that, I mean, that's just like if you're looking for the low hanging fruit, I'd say you'd want to do that. And, bring it up to speed for where we're at today. The bones of it, I mean, if you think about how they put it together, I think you want to keep that in mind
Mhm.
when, you're going to retrofit it. I don't think we should try to do more than we have to do, I guess I would say.
Right.
No, I mean, nothing's really changed in terms of the town's objectives and so forth. Although, I'm afraid even, with whatever planning organization we go with, they will want to do another survey
Yeah,
questionnaire.
and they should,
thing,
because we need to get
So,
input from our
yeah.
newer.
But that would be Berkshire Planning that would do
Right,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they take the reins and they do it.
Right.
That was the nice part, is that we don't have to.
And the probability, again, that CJ was talking about was that we should set up a committee
Mhm.
specifically to oversee that rather than deal with it as our board.
Right,
And bring in, I don't know, other stakeholders.
oh, absolutely. Business people,
Yeah.
people on
Oh,
different
oh, yeah.
committees, maybe townspeople who have, because I know there was one in particular who I'm really blanking on his name right now, but he really wanted to be part of it.
Hmm.
Shelby Marshall. I think
Right.
it was.
But in the end of it all, I can't say I've looked at that up until now. So as a functioning document, what is its purpose truly in nature when you put this thing together and who uses it? I mean, I think we're supposed to be, but we don't refer to that.
Well, we haven't, but I think when this was written, it was not online. It was not easily available. This is something that's living, it's online. You'll see it. Everybody in town's going to see it, and they're all going to want to have something to say about the future. And also to think about where they came from and why they came here and how we keep it that way.
And don't we need to have a current
Master plan.
plan
Yeah,
to, in order to get
Grants.
certain grants and
Yeah.
things like that?
Absolutely,
I realize you
yeah.
blink twice and it's out of date.
Yep.
Yep.
Well,
So
5 to
that's
10
that's a
years.
good reason why we don't want it to cost us
Right.
much.
Well, it's easier to update after 5
Yeah.
years than it is after 30.
True.
yeah, and I think that, with Berkshire Planning, if they're the folks that are going to do it, then it's easier for them to do that, you know, whether it's every 5 or 7 or 10 years, whatever position you find yourself in. I mean, I can tell you, I started, I think when the original one that we have now was just finished. Probably about 6 months after that. And I honestly cannot remember one person discussing that in any meeting, in any board, ever.
Right.
So that's why I was never particularly, you know, jazzed about spending a lot of time doing it if nobody's going to use it, you know. And I know I remember going to a meeting with the folks from Deerfield, and of course, you know, Deerfield is the you know, you can't paint your house except the colors they tell you and all that stuff. And I remember sitting with the planning board people there, and they're there, yeah, we do it pretty often, but he said nobody ever uses it, you know.
So this is why it rang true to me when Carl said, let's just get it done. Because if we're gonna spend $70,000 and then be able to, okay, put that back on the shelf and thank you very much. Well, if there's advantages like, okay, I understand. what
Yeah, I mean, the advantage that I see right now is that you're
available to funding and things like
right,
that.
yeah.
But to spend,
But whatever planning consultation we bring in is going to make a lunch out of it, you know, so that's the thing.
But it's only gonna cost us 10,000 out of our
Right,
budget.
out of our budget, it's probably only going to cost 10. So, and we already have 20 aside for this very specific thing, which we
I
didn't use for
can't
somebody
stand that
else.
reasoning that it's not our money, so we spend it. I
No, it's
can't
already-
stand that.
No.
No, it's
I know
already
what
been
you're
set
saying,
aside
but out of
for
our
this.
pocket, I get that, but where's the other 50 come from? So it's a
That's what the
grant.
grant.
I understand, but to
And they
just
apply for the
treat
grant.
that, I really get wrinkled about that way of thinking about the money. It's still a whole bunch of money that if we don't need to do it, I don't want to do it.
Right.
And
I think we need to do it because otherwise the grants to come
Right.
are going to be problematic. At least that's what I'm
And there's
gathering.
think about the competition we're going to have, trying to get money that's dwindling as opposed to is what we've had. So there are going to be a lot of people looking for less money, you know, less money that's out there. So the better we have, what we have to show them that's up to date is going to make a difference.
And if we don't secure the 50,000, somebody else will.
That's true.
So is there anything that do we need to, you know, send a memo to Mike, or is this already in process?
I think it's in process, but I can,
Well, the question is, do we have to actually
we'd have to.
make a decision to
Yes,
Yes, we
go
have to
with,
vote on this.
yes.
you know,
Soon, because it's a
the
timely thing
Right.
to get on our.
planning? I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't seem like.
So what are we vote, what would the motion be?
well, just one other thing, Gary. So with the idea of going through this, do we feel like the entire document has to be reworked?
I think-
Or
And looking at it-
can we get specific and maybe not get into a $70,000 bill?
I think from the beginning to the end, the numbers are all dated.
Like which numbers, the
Look-
population?
Oh my God.
If you look at everything, I mean, I went through and I started every single page. Every page has needs to be updated. And I started looking at all the numbers and I started calling schools. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
That, like,
They'll only-
start spending this kind of money. I like to make sure it's
Well, at least.
worthwhile.
I'm just-
They'll only
I'm not
fix
worried.
what we want them to fix, right? I mean, we don't want them to go page by page by page,
Well,
but
they have their own, look at
Yeah.
the lead, go
Yeah.
online and look at the lead, the new one in lead. And you'll see, it's very easy to read. It's nice, gets your eye. People will start reading it as opposed to this, which is really dry.
it's hard to
and
get
numbers
through,
and-
yeah. Or you
And
want them for one
beyond the
thing.
numbers, you know, my only takeaway from going through it was, you know, possibly it could be focused more on the kind of community preservation and work, I mean, the things we're doing, already with affordable housing and or aiming for and then some kind of like, economic.
I would assume they would sit down with us. and
Well, they're going to do that
us.
with, they're going to do that, not just with us, but they're going to do it with.
Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing about looking at this whole plan is that, some things have happened. I mean, you can look through and say, these are stated goals, which actually were acted upon.
That's
So,
true, and there's some that weren't.
so there's a couple of boxes we can check and then we have to,
Pat ourselves.
move.
Get out your highlighter.
But it's interesting, the population shift and
That's, yeah,
the demographics have changed drastically.
yeah.
And the numbers of children and the numbers of families are really decreased. And what was projected in here is half, it's now half of that.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see. But we already have a lot of those numbers from the housing production plan, which was done last year. So they don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Oh, no, it's all information that's
Right,
Somebody's got.
right there. So,
right.
I mean, I agree with Wayne. I mean, I don't see why this has to become a big, expensive project. Except that, I think anyone we talk to is going to make it into as much of a project as they can.
Well,
Yeah,
but
for the money. Yeah.
they'll get a certain price and whatever, and they're gonna do their job well, from what I can tell. I think what we really need to do is at least apply for the grant, and then we can see where we are. We don't have to say, yes, we're doing it this second, but we do need to apply.
No, it's the fall.
Is that what our vote is tonight?
To apply for the grant. I think it's already been decided.
I think he's.
I don't think we have.
Michael said he'd already had.
$10,000 towards something already put aside.
Right, that was from money that we had already gotten for the last person who was doing.
But I think I
Oh,
think,
yeah. Carol.
Kara, that was
I
it.
think I'd make a motion that we proceed to work with the
Berkshire.
regional planning to develop an updated comprehensive plan.
As long as we get the
Yeah.
grant.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of what
Right,
they'll do.
right. We
So,
just would have to have that in the motion, because if we didn't get the grant.
Well, then it becomes kind of moot
Yes.
unless we get the money someplace else.
Right. And there are 2 different grants they can apply for.
all right,
But
well,
now,
But now, one of them is
Yeah,
right now.
right now.
So, do you have that, John? What Carl? just
yeah,
said?
well, I move that we,
To go with Berkshire Regional Planning.
yeah,
Yeah, and have Mike, our town administrator, facilitate a grant.
Mhm. Is that a motion?
yes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Facilitate's a big word these days.
Yeah,
So all these details though about how in depth get decided later, really.
Right,
Right now, we're just asking to
we're like at the
Right.
people
threshold.
to be applying for the money.
I
right,
think we just want to get the grant.
right,
But if we do,
right.
Well, and decide who to go with and,
if we don't, then
Mhm. Then we're gonna be typing it up ourselves.
Well, that's-
Doing all
Yeah.
that.
So that's where we do
Yeah.
not need to reinvent the wheel
I
because
know.
this has been done many, many
Well,
times.
I know, but this is a huge. If you go through it, it's like, I spent 2 days just crossing.
I spent a good deal of time looking at it and
Yeah.
it's an impressive
It is.
piece of work.
Mhm.
It is.
Wonder how long it took them to do it.
Quite a while. I think it was,
oh my
it
God.
was over a year, I think.
At
Well,
least, yeah.
and that's what
maybe
it'll
2.
take. He said
You know?
12 to 18 months, I think.
Yeah,
I remember Sally Bagley
Before
grousing
this?
about it.
No.
Vision
no, that was,
separate.
Mhm.
that was after.
How does that tie into this?
What, the vision statement? This is where a lot of information comes from. They're going to base questions on the vision statement, I'm sure, to the groups that they talk to. You know, this is how you saw it before. How do you see it now? Where do you, what would you like to see in the future of the town? How would it look?
Absolutely no changes from what I.
Nothing's gonna change,
Maybe
even
more-
if you want to change.
Maybe
nothing's
more
gonna
families, that would be nice.
change. More children.
Children.
Yeah, that's, that's just such a problematic
Yeah,
thing. Most of us, we're fortunate because we were born here and we more or less stayed here. But for anybody else, it's almost an insurmountable task to try to put your roots down here.
Well, and jobs and industries that existed when
Yeah,
the
they're,
right.
30-year-old plan was
Right.
there are gone. I
Yes,
mean,
they are.
That's why when we try to recreate what we had,
Right.
it's not possible
Mhm.
because the things that made it possible are gone.
Yep.
So when we keep trying to say we want young families here, I can name a bunch of people in this room that wouldn't be here if their parents didn't hand down
Oh, yeah.
their family house to them.
there's no doubt
Right here,
about
I
it.
wouldn't be here.
Me too.
You know,
I mean, I was talking with someone,
My husband built their house.
the other day about how, it was, I wouldn't say it was a self-contained community, like I'd say probably Lee or Great Barrington was. And probably Lee is the only one that's left that actually still has
what it
enough-
takes.
Right.
enough, you could, except for probably buying furniture, I'd say, you could probably, and maybe clothing, I don't know. I mean, they have the mall, but.
She got beds.
But yeah, exactly. But it's, we're, we had a department store, we had a hardware store, we had a lumber,
Pharmacy. Yeah, pharmacy.
pharmacy.
Yeah.
You had a sundries, magazine, bookstore, ice cream place. And then you had, the pharmacy as well for that stuff.
And
We-
two
And then down on Elm Street, you had I think you had at least one barber. I think we might have had two. I think we did have two at one time.
We had
Yeah.
3 garages
Yeah.
where you
Oh,
could
that's
get your
right.
car fixed.
Yeah.
We had 2
Yeah.
gravel beds. We had 27 farms at one time. We had
Sure.
places here where the people could work and stay and get
Yeah.
all but the fringe things you could get here in town. And we've slowly pushed those smelly or
buy a
unsightly,
tomato or a head of
or
lettuce.
what have you,
Yeah.
those things that aren't quite perfect we've slowly pushed them out.
Yeah. I mean, there was an Oldsmobile dealership on Route 7, right, in Sam's old, DeLay's old garage. It was a beautiful building.
Mhm.
That would be a showplace today if that was still standing,
Mhm.
That'd be amazing.
But look at the trucks parked there now.
I know.
Is that a nice,
I hope they're paying rent for that.
I mean, to look at that corner and
I
go,
know.
can we find a way to
Right.
make a dirty property usable? Because these dirty properties are all in prime locations.
Mhm.
Why can't we somehow find a way to have a baseline of, okay, it's
Yeah.
dirty,
I mean, why couldn't that be the
Go from
ambulance?
huh?
Why couldn't that be the ambulance, and firehouse
But
there?
that type of stuff drives me nuts because we won't allow a gas station to be there, but we'll allow that. We'll allow those trucks that,
Leaking oil and gas or whatever.
so anyways.
No, we can't solve that.
So that's all we have for tonight? Anybody have anything else? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Do we need new business for next month?
Doesn't say.
Oh, yeah, does anybody have anything for the agenda for next month?
Are we meeting next month? Because of voting and all that.
Oh, well, that won't be till the
Yes.
midnight.
Whatever it is,
Okay.
because we have.
When's the election?
Some like.
May 20th, I think.
If we don't meet in May,
Need a
they-
special permit to in 20. Or whatever. And they have adjusted the building. It was going to be 2 stories. Now they're just going to make it 1 story. And so they're coming in to ask if the adjustment is insignificant enough
Oh,
so that
they don't have
they
to
don't
go
have
through
to do
another,
special.
okay.
Is that the one over by the outlet of the lake? Is that the one we're talking about?
It might be. I know I sent you guys.
It's
Yeah.
off.
I mean, my recollection would be is that any change usually denotes that you have to go through a new process.
I talked to Mike Canales, he said.
Is it like the third?
Oh, really?
Building
That's
inspector.
the first and.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's,
I thought that
what I
our,
saw, it was pretty negligible.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
And
That's what the building
it would be,
inspector
it would be to our advantage, I think, it being one story
Right.
instead of two.
we'd want to ask the
Meeting.
town council though, because I think they're the ones
The
that
sixth,
said the
big day.
said.
any
If you look in
change.
the,
So we'll meet on the
I
sixth,
think the 20th.
it does say that they can come.
20th is.
Yeah. Oh, sure, they can come in. Yeah.
One more meeting.
Yeah.
Vote on whether
All
it's.
right.
Nancy.
So we are meeting on the sixth then?
May 6th?
Be there.
All right.
Be there or be square.
I would second the motion to adjourn.
Okay, don't.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.